Hi everybody, this is Celeste. We had a glitch with our live, so we're just going to start over. And I know I said that we were going to talk today about why people can't be more like dogs. And here's Miley. She's just finished up her dinner, so she's a happy camper. And I know that we said we were going to talk this week about why people can't be more like dogs, but this week we actually had something unexpected happen in the last week, so I want to talk a little bit about that and the learning lessons that I had from that. So last Tuesday night, Miley started to cough, and obviously that can be a signal of a few things going on, so naturally I was kind of concerned about that. And so we kept an eye on it for a couple days. I did book her an appointment with the vet, and so she was coughing for a couple days, and then it started to improve. So by the time we got to the vet, the cough was all but gone. So she's barely coughed in the last couple days since about Friday. So that's quite the relief. But the vet said that Miley had kennel cough. So and that can turn into something more serious, like pneumonia. But the vet didn't seem to feel like it was anything even serious enough to give her antibiotics. But, I was still kind of concerned. And, it was a good reminder of just how precious she is to me. And, I always know how precious she is to me. But, it's just a good reminder that, there's no guarantees in life. There's no guarantees about our health or how long that we have. And, we can get sick at any time. And it might just be something mild, like Miley's case was mild, but I was still concerned about her because I love her. And here's Miley. She's just chilling right now. And but yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about that. And I think I talked about this before, but Miley and I have a ritual that we do every morning. We have cuddle time every morning when we wake up, and part of that is part of our cuddle time. Miley's getting into trouble here, and she wants something in the sink because Mom didn't do the dishes right away, and she's trying to get into something. Miley's being a troublemaker. So that's our Mondays with Miley is, she's gonna find trouble wherever she can. But anyways, so part of our cuddle time in the mornings is we have our little pep talk that we do, and I tell her how grateful I am for her and how proud I am of her and all the training that she's been doing to become a service dog, and how much I love her and how precious she is to me. And that was actually something that, and I know I've talked about this before in my lives, but that's something that I started with my old dog Winston. And for those of you that don't know Winston, he was a Pyrenees Retriever cross, and he was 12 when I adopted him, and he had some health issues and some back end issues, and Miley's getting into trouble. Miley's being a troublemaker. And so yeah, he started off as a foster, and I was helping him to rehab from his health issues and some stuff that he had going on, and he had been abandoned, and so I was just working with him to get him stronger because of his back end issues. He probably couldn't eat after he'd been abandoned because he couldn't really chase anything, and he was really weak, and so we had to work on rehabilitating him, and I had to take him to the vet one day, and the vet said they'd likely euthanize him because he was old and in bad health, and he was basically like unadoptable. So I adopted him the next day, and I really honestly wasn't sure how long I'd have with him, and so that's really when I started implementing that, because I didn't know when our last day together was going to be. And Miley's still trying to get into trouble. She's trying to get into something, and yeah, Miley. So I started that tradition of doing a pep talk every day, because I thought, if today's his last day with me, I want him to know that I love him, and I want him to know that I'm proud of him and all the hard work he did in his rehabilitation work, and how precious he was to me, and how grateful I am. And so I always wanted him to hear that, just in case today was the day he passed away. And I thought, yeah, I might have a couple weeks with him, and I had him for almost 10 months before he passed away, and it still kind of came as a surprise, and because he was improving so much over the time that I had him, that I'd almost kind of become a little bit complacent about the fact that I could lose him, and I still knew that I could lose him any day, but because he was doing so well, I didn't expect it. And maybe that's why I was a little bit more worried about Miley, because of his underlying health conditions, and he ended up with an infection because of one of his underlying conditions, and he went really quickly. Like, he was at the dog park the night before, and even one of his friends that had known him since day one of me having him said, this is the best I've ever seen him. And less than 24 hours later, he had passed away from the health issues that he had, and one of those health issues caused the infection, right? So the infection came on really quickly, and that's why I felt like it was really important to get her to the vet as soon as I could, just because if an infection didn't crop up, then I wanted to get it taken care of as soon as possible, because I realized how serious an infection can get and how quickly it can get serious. And granted, he was an older dog and more fragile and had some health issues, and Miley's younger, but still, we wanted to take care of her because she is precious. And so yeah, it's just my experience with Winston and Miley, just especially this last week, just really hit home that we have to tell the people that we love every day that we love them and we're grateful, and how proud we are of them. And I'm very cognizant of telling my pups how important they are to me, and because you never know what could happen today or tomorrow or next week, right? So, and that did crop up on us unexpectedly. I wasn't expecting Miley to get sick, and luckily it wasn't anything, it wasn't overly serious. So yeah, and luckily it blew over quite quickly, and everything was okay. And so it's just a reminder. I just want to remind you guys, to remember, how important the people we are to us, and to remember to tell them that we love them and that they're precious to us and stuff like that. And Miley's playing right now, and just as we sign off, we're just gonna get Miley in here. She's busy playing with her bone. Hey, Miley. And that's Mondays with Miley. So everybody have a good night, and yeah, tune in next week and we'll talk about what we were going to talk about today with what was the topic? The topic was, why can't people be more like dogs? And so we're going to talk about that next week, and we will talk to you next week for Mondays with Miley. And there goes Miley with her bone, and she's very excited to be here tonight. And everybody have a good night and have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week. Have a good night, everybody.